YouTube, what is going on, my friends? Hope you guys are doing great. In today's video, we're diving into the Pi Hackathon winners. They have been announced. I have been taking a peek at them. And in this video and in a series we're about to do, we're going to dive into the top winners and just take a peek at them. See why they won, why the community voted on them, and just my thoughts on what the future of Pi looks like from the success or potential success and potential of these apps. You don't want to miss it. All of this and a whole bunch more coming right up. All right, my friends, I hope you guys are doing great. I am really pumped to be talking about the very first of the Pi Hackathon winners, one of 10. That is kind of cool. We're going to talk about one of them today in this video and just my thoughts around all of it. And by the way, if this is your first time finding me and the Google and YouTube algorithm has sent you to me, welcome. I'm glad you're here on this channel. My name is Wes Spencer, and I am a technology entrepreneur, especially in cybersecurity. I've built and sold cybersecurity companies, and I love jumping into crypto, which really circles around all of that right here on this channel. And I'm not a full-time YouTuber, and so because of that, you're not going to see me doing price speculation, moon pumping. I just stick to the technologies that interest me. And if you've been following me for a while, you know Pi is one of those social experiments that's a really interesting follow. Is it going to be successful? Who knows? Is it going to truly take off and become worth, all of the money that people speculate on Reddit and other places? Who knows? I'm in it for the journey. I think it's doing some very innovative things and building a market first and then having the technology come up to it second. We don't see a lot of technology, especially crypto projects, do that. Usually crypto projects are developed by engineers who have a great use case and great technology, and then they're like, but where's the market? How do I get people to be interested in this and start using it, right? Pi is the flip of it. Over 20 million active users. So it's got a huge market, but they're building the technology to catch up, and that's why it's interesting. So in today's video, we're just going to jump into that. And one thing you can do for me as we get started, if you like the video, a few things: hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share this with your friends in any medium or outlet you would like. So with no further ado, let's just jump over to it. We're going to just do this on my phone today, which should be a lot of fun. So here are the hackathon winners. This is the Pi blog where they were talking about it. And there's a few things that stand out that I wanted to say around this. Now, we do know there were a whole bunch of submissions that were placed. And honestly, there were so many of them. I think it's kind of hard to go through and vote. I initially started to vote for some, and I was just drowned in a sea of applications. And I decided, I'm just going to back off this and we'll let you guys in the community do the work. And so you have, and now we see this. And I think it's exciting to see the winners were really subject to the community vote. And I think that's a good, strong sign. If there's one thing Pi and the core team have been good at, it's including the community from the very beginning. And I think that's a positive thing. We need more crypto projects that do that. So here are the winners: Pi Workforce Pool, and that's the one we're going to look at today. Also PiCare, PiChain Mall, World of Pi Championships, and then What You Got, which I guess is a marketplace, like, hey, what you got? And so we're going to cover each of those, not all of them today. We're just going to stick to the first one today, which is the Pi Workforce Pool. We're going to dive into it. I'm going to connect to it live for the first time, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it as we dive in. Now, one thing I will say, I'm going to skip by the honorable mentions, but for you guys, congrats as well on making an honorable mention. I mean, out of thousands of submissions, that's a big deal too. So we see down here the prize winners. So 20,000 and then 20,000 Pi. So 20,000 US and 20,000 Pi for first prize, and you see second and third and honorary from there. I've seen some people on Reddit say, well, does that mean Pi is now worth $1? Well, no, nowhere on here did it say that they're equal to each other, right? Like 20,000 Pi equals $20,000. They're not saying that. Maybe they're trying to like sneakily intimate that they think Pi should be worth $1. Now, we don't do price speculation on this channel, but I will tell you this: the market will determine what Pi is worth. So don't look at this as a one-to-one. And I'm not even sure if the Pi core team meant to like intend that, but you should just know that. So I wanted to share that as well. And then there's some logistics and how they get it, the selection process, and we're going to skip by all that. So what we're going to do is go over to the Pi app itself, and let's dive in and take a look at it. Okay, so here we go. I've got these open. The way you can find this, at least right now in the app, is you just click on Winners on the home screen, and it's going to take you right here with the filter built in for Hackathon Winner. And so you can see each of these. And so here is Pi Workforce Pool, and I'm just going to bring it up really quick before I jump into it so you can see, you know, what this thing is all about. Really, I sort of see it as like a Fiverr or one of those like gig economy kind of work for hire kind of stuff. You're looking for somebody to, you know, build some code for you or design something, and it's where a marketplace where buyers and sellers can meet up to trade for services. The difference, of course, is that they're going to be paid in Pi. So that's kind of cool. So you can see the app is live, piyet.com. Kind of confused on the domain name. Not a huge fan of that. Like when I hear Pi Workforce Pool and then Piyet, don't really follow that so much. So, you know, probably a better domain might be nice. Now we're going to look at this. You can just go on any browser to piyet.com and you can see the actual app, but to actually interface with it, you're going to have to go in through the Pi browser. And I covered this a long time ago in an old video, but the Pi browser is really, it's what has the API mechanisms to connect into the Pi blockchain. And so most, if not all of the Pi apps you're going to use in the future will go through the Pi browser. And again, the reason for that is that's the browser itself that has all of the API connections to be able to interact with your wallet, to be able to handle transactions on the Pi blockchain, all of that good stuff. And I'm also not going to cover this. You should know this. The Pi blockchain is alive. It's still in testnet. We're not using it for real transactions. And all the Pi you have at this point in the testnet world is just test Pi. So keep that in mind. We're still in testnet for all of this. And I just wanted to mention that. I shared all that in a past video, but I wanted to say that again. So you can kind of see what this all looks like. I'm going to kind of skip by some of this, but you can see the pool brings everyone together. You can see who it's for. It's for any pioneer. So someone that needs to get some work done, someone that wants to offer up their services, when it's going to be available, it says that it's, you know, it went through the hackathon, of course. It's in the alpha phase, which just, if you don't know like how phases work, it's at the very, very, very beginning. So you're going to see a lot of changes to the app as it continues to build and grow and mature. And then they say that they plan on doing a full launch when MainNet is complete. I think that's brilliant. I think it's important for MainNet not just to be the stability of the blockchain, but also the stability of a surrounding set of apps that drive its economy and utility. That is really critical. And if I'm on the core team, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, even if my developers are saying, guys, we're ready to go, it's stable, let's push this to market. What a good entrepreneur should be thinking about is simply this. Well, it may be ready for market, but is the MVP there? Is the minimum viable product there? In other words, does it have everything it needs to be a robust, usable platform? And one of those things is great utility apps. And so I'm sure the core team will be correlating and communicating with many of the hackathon winners to make sure that when they go live, those apps are also ready to go live as well. Okay, so I'm going to skip the rest of this and let's just dive into this, shall we? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Pi browser itself. And if you've not seen the Pi browser, you can go and download this from the App Store. And I've got this open. You can see everything that's here. There's really not a lot at this point. There is the wallet. The wallet is where you're going to connect. You can do transactions for your test Pi on the test blockchain. But what we're going to do is we're going to open up the browser itself. And actually, it's open at the top. So to get there, we're just going to go to piyet.com. We're going to pop that guy in here. And here we go. We're in the workforce pool. So this is the application itself. We're waiting for this thing to load. Okay, here we go. So get freelance work done, all that good stuff. I'm going to skip by. You can sign up as a business and or talent. So I'll be signing up as a business because I don't really have any talent that I'm going to be using and offering up here. But as a business, maybe I do, right? Like it'd be fun for me to use Pi to outsource maybe, you know, thumbnail creations or some other things that I could use here on my channel. So it shows you can get matched with people, you make your payments in Pi, all that good stuff. So again, we have a model for this. The model is Fiverr. If you look at Fiverr, it's a very robust ecosystem that just uses US dollar and it builds a marketplace of buyers and sellers. So we're going to hit enter on this and we're going to have to get set up. So the first thing it says is, do you want to share your information to the Pi workforce pool. And I'm going to have to do that, right? I'm going to have to share my username. I'm going to authenticate my account. So I'm going to hit allow. What that authentication does is it just jumps me into the Pi system itself. It uses my wallet that I've already created to authenticate myself, and then I should be able to just jump right in. So I'm not going to do like a full, I'm not going to customize any of this right now. It looks like I can upload an image, descriptions, all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to do any of that just for sake of brevity on today's video. So I'm going to hit, I'm looking for work. Let's see here, what category? Let's do, yeah, graphics and design, right? Now, one thing that they need to do, they need to, and again, we're in alpha, so I'm going to excuse all of these kind of UI issues. One is it's kind of hard to go back up here. This is a little screwy, but on top of that, I don't need to set what I'm offering if I'm a buyer, if I'm a business looking to market. So I'm just going to kind of skip this. I'll just hit UX design. Because I'm not showcasing my skills. I'm in the market for something. So they need to probably change some features there. Okay, disclaimer, it's alpha. Yeah, super cool with that. You're right. I'm not gonna critique it any extra because it's so young and new. So here we go. So we can see we have everything set up here. It looks like they're walking us through. Okay, so this is like a lightweight version. Here's how I sign out right there. That little looks like I can't zoom in, but you can see how I can sign out. I can get help on the question mark. You can see the dashboard, all of this good stuff. So yeah, wow, this is really wordy and messy at this point, but I'm okay with that again because it's alpha. So let's see if we can figure out how to get from the help page over to the dashboard itself. Okay, so I got to the dashboard. It wasn't super intuitive, but you can see down at the very bottom right is that little square button, those little square tiles. That's what gets you to the dashboard. So when you first log in, you're going to be on the help page, but that's where you want to click on. And so I can see here's my dashboard. I have 6,232 Pi. Again, that's not my Pi. It's not real Pi. It's test Pi. We're still in testnet, right? So just keep that in mind. That is all fake. You know, if you have 1 Pi, if you have 100,000 Pi, once you're carving it out and Pi goes to mainnet, that's, I'm guessing what would show there, right? So anyway, you can see that, you can see the number of Pi, you can see the talent and work, and I guess it's not going to surprise me if there's no active listings because there's no active work to be done right now since everything is test Pi. Looks like I can go through here, my applications, my listings, so these are, yeah, these are okay. So these are all just search terms that I can use once this thing goes live. It doesn't look like there's anything here yet. So I'm not applying for like any work to be done, anything like that. I mean, it'd be fun to like check some of that out, but it looks like we're still too new for all of that. Looks like it does have a message system. This message system is what you'd be using to collaborate on the projects themselves. So let's say I outsource for 10 Pi, I don't know, like a YouTube thumbnail to be designed, like I mentioned before. This is probably where it would go, where I'm communicating back and forth with the designer to see all of it done. And then of course here is the user for all of my settings here. Yeah, so I can see apparently it has a rating system, so that's kind of cool. You'd expect something like that because, you know, you really want to have a good economy where like I don't want to hire a designer who's got really poor ratings that doesn't deliver in time, and nor does someone that's providing talent want to work with someone on the buyer side that's looking for help if they're terrible at paying on time or they're like really hard to work with or whatever. So I think the rating system is great. I think that makes a lot of sense. So you can see it on the talent side and on the work side, and it looks like the app does support both. So you could be someone that both provides talent and someone that like outsources for work to be done. So I think that's really cool. So I'm going to go to talent. I'm going to click on the button here to add a talent listing. Okay, cool. So this is where if I'm going to provide services and I say I'm doing, you know, YouTube thumbnail design, here it is. So I could pop in all of this information here. I can max number of people that can apply for it. I'm sure many people wouldn't even put that in. Looks like hourly or set payment. Let's do a set payment of, I don't know, monthly. Just playing around with this here. Marketing, skill. Okay. We can limit to a country. So, you know, if you don't speak, a certain language and you're uncomfortable trying to get through that language barrier, you could do some limiting there. So that's kind of interesting. Application required, pick an image. That's probably showcasing what all you can do. So yeah, it looks like it's pretty easy for you to go through the talent listing side. Let's check the work side. So I'm gonna hit plus work listing. So this is where you are listing, the things that you're looking for, like what kind of work you need done. So the title of, I need YouTube thumbnail design, summary, descriptions, deliverables. Yeah, so this is all, if you've been in Fiverr like I have, this is all very, very similar. Start and end dates, maximum of applicants, bounties, rates, same kind of thing. So this would be where from the side of someone looking for work, they're saying, I need this to be done, and this is the max amount I'm willing to pay. And so that's where people that offer work could jump into this and say, well, I can do it for X amount and I can do it for Y amount. And then you would look through and see everyone that's bid on the project and pick the one that you think is best. So I think that's kind of cool. Fiverr works that way. Many others work that way, where you as someone that's looking to buy services can just individually find someone's marketplace that's offering work and just choose them directly, or you could sort of bid it out. So the last thing that I wanted to do as well is not just show how you can look for work and bid out for work, things like that, but this took a minute for it to load earlier, but I did find it now. So here's the search. So when I first clicked on this, it was a little bit slow, probably loading everything. Again, we're in alpha. I can excuse all those things. And here we go. So here is some of the things that are being offered up. And again, I'm sure that a lot of this is purely just for introductory purposes, but let's just pick one. Let's pick, let's see, full stack developer, or I not. This is someone advertising as a full stack developer, 0 years of experience. Looks like no, I'm guessing the check mark is, it's hard to know, but I'm guessing that's probably number of like completed projects, which is nice to know. How much experience does this person have? They're charging a rate of 10 pi. I'm not sure if that's like 10 pi per project, if that's 10 pi per hour. I don't really know the answer to that. And of course that would matter, right? Like one project size is not likened to another. So that would be useful to know the difference. We can also see all the services and platforms like Adobe Photoshop, so on and so forth, branding, the things that this person is good at. And that's kind of funny because full stack developer, this is all design stuff. So I'm sure this is just a template that they placed in here to just show what this would look like. You can see this is a one-time frequency, and I'm going to hit higher on this. And there we go. So I can say, here's what I want to build. Any other helpful information in this inquiry, we can put it in there and we can hit submit, and off we go. So that's kind of neat to see all this. Let's check out another one, shall we? Let's check out Math Tutor. So here is Math Tutor. Yep, there we go. So same person, Murdoch Jr. So I'm guessing, and we can go back and confirm this, probably the user Murdoch Jr. is one of the developers, and they just put some of these things in here just to show use cases of what this will look like. So 5 pi, okay, and here we go. So this one's 5 pi an hour. You see that down there? So that lets us know that this is actually, for sure, it can be a project rate or an hourly rate. And then they can teach you, I'm sure this would be delivered over like a Zoom session or something like that. And I hit submit, and then again, what kind of math areas of help do you need? Anything else helpful you need? So yeah, pretty simple to get going on all of this. So this is pretty neat. I really like seeing this as a platform that, I can bid out for work. I can submit my own services and talent for Pi. The messages still aren't loading for me, and that's okay. And then of course I can create some of my own stuff by hand here as well. So what do I think about all of this? Well, for sure it's alpha, right? But that's okay. I am excited to see where this grows. I can see why the Pi core team selected this as a winner. It got a lot of votes, so we can go back and see if you want to go back and look at the votes. In fact, I don't think I showed that, so I should probably go back and let's take a peek at that. So here we are. By the way, you notice developers, Murdoch Jr., see him here. So yes, we have confirmed, of course, that all of those templated services being offered up are currently just created by him, just to show what this would all look like. But I think if we go back again, yeah, so we can see, so this thing has 23,663 upvotes. That's a lot. So now we can certainly see why the core team selected the Pi workforce pool as one of their winners, because this is one that's going to give it a lot of utility at the beginning. I happen to know a lot of the people that are involved in Pi. Many pioneers are very, very sophisticated, especially those that know how to write code, those who know back-end and front-end development, probably design and many other things. And so what I think will happen with this is, as this continues to mature, and it clearly has a long way to go, but as it continues to mature as an app, really being an intermediary, the Fiverr of the Pi workforce world is a great first application to have to make sure when Pi is released, it's not just a bunch of hopes, right? It's not just, it's going to help it prevent, people from just doing a major mass sell-off the second the blockchain is released. What this is going to do is it's going to have immediate utility. So maybe somebody like me or somebody like you has 1,000 Pi that you've been reserving by every single day, going in and checking into the app, and you're like, you know, I have some work to do, and this person's rates are X amount. That's great. I'm going to absolutely use that. And so having a robust economy marketplace right out of the gate is what I guess what I'm trying to say. That's a big deal. Like, that really helps us in our initial kickoffs when we go to MainNet to make sure that Pi has some stability and doesn't just have a huge sell-off. So there's the very first review. I'm excited about it. Is it polished? No. Is it ready for market? Nope. But it's alpha. They have a lot of time to build it, to build some stability, some speed in it, to make sure that it's clean on the UX side of the house, the user experience side of the house. And overall, I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's a great app. I'm excited to see it. And in the next few videos, I will dive into the other workforce winners so you can take a peek at those as well and get my thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. What do you think about the Pi Workforce app itself, the workforce pool? Do you think it's going to be successful? Do you plan on offering services? I'd love to know what you think those services may be, or any other questions around Pi, definitely let me know. One last thing as we close out, if this video has been fun and informative, would you hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon? All of those things go a long way for this channel, and for sure, share this out with all your friends. All right, thank you guys so much.